Gam Ganapatiye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha, Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Brahma Mir Sriparan Takare, Banusha Shivami Sato, Buddha Guru Sha Shukra, Shani Rahu Keteva, Sarvigraha Shantikara Bhavantu, Om Hrim Buddhaya Namaha, Om Hrim Gurave Namaha, Om Hrim Shukraya Namaha, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Om Tat Sat. Well, greetings and welcome to another episode of KozmicKev100, your weekly astro video zine. This one is for May 19th, 2023. Now, looking at the sky today, if we could see the moon, we would see it in the constellation of Taurus, and actually in both Jyotish, the Vedic astrology, and in Western astrology, the moon is in Taurus. And so at 8:53 a.m. this Friday morning, we've got a new moon in Kritika, in the Kritika Nakshatra. So what's Kritika about? Well, Kritika is like 1/4 Aries, 3/4 Taurus. Pretty sure it's in Taurus in both systems here. And so, you know, this is, I am sure, its symbol is the flaming sword or the razor. It's ruled by the sun, along with the other nakshatras, Uttara Falguni and Uttara Ashada. They're all ruled by the sun. Nakshatra is ruled by the sun. And what's the sun about? The sun's about soul purpose. The sun's about truth. Kritika is located out in the Pleiades, and rumor has it at one time they thought it was the first nakshatra, or they worked out that way. And the Pleiades had like the foster mothers of the zodiac. They take care of other people's children. And the moon's exalted in Kritika. It's actually a pretty good moon. Now, you know, when I did the Jyotish chart, it was like Gemini rising. It's probably, I'm pretty sure it's Cancer rising in tropical regular Western astrology. But what I thought was there's something sweet and nurturing, even though the moon's in the 12th house and there's some amount of loss, there's a degree of letting go. And Kritika can be fierce. You know, Kritika is about telling the truth, truth-telling. And Malcolm X's birthday is today, and Malcolm X, you know, with his son in Kritika Nakshatra, obviously was a real truth teller. He didn't mess around. And, you know, it's like the truth is something that we're always discovering, and the reality never changes, but what our concept of truth is does. And so the nice part about Kritika is that they're willing to adopt other children. There's a lot of courage here. There's a lot of radiance. It's a very kind of pitta, fiery nakshatra that radiates, you know, heat. But it also, you know, and it likes to consume things. And it'll consume food, but also consumes knowledge. That's why people are often really good thinkers in Kritika. So, Western astrology, we got a moon in Taurus. I mean, Taurus moon is an exalted moon. It's a good moon. It's a good new moon. New moons are where we set our intentions. What we got going on this week is we've got Mars in Western astrology moving into Leo this week. So, that's going to be a big shift. Trying to think when that takes place. It takes place Saturday at 8:31 a.m. Okay, so tomorrow, moon will be in Leo. That might bring out just more bold behavior, I guess you'd say. And I mean, I myself personally participated in bold behavior, taking a risk, and I ended up wrecking my car as a result of it, which is certainly not fun. Without going into the details, I'm just grateful to be alive and unhurt relatively. At least as of today. And it's never worth that, those few minutes of time, folks. Don't pass that truck. Just chill out. Realize, you might being late is definitely worth not destroying your vehicle or getting hurt or getting a ticket or all these other things. That would be my message. And unfortunately, I'm one of these people that at times have learned the hard way. Not always. I think more wisdom comes with age, but by this point, I feel like I should have known better, and it's okay. I don't need to beat myself up anymore. I'm grateful for this grace because it'll hopefully prevent future difficulties for me. All right, so anyhow, let's go sign by sign in the tropical Western horoscope with your horoscope for the week, starting with you, Aries, and see if there's any other shifts besides that Mars going in Leo. I don't think there is. So I'm looking forward to being with you today. Greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. All right. So Mars going to Leo actually is going to boost you up. It's going to put more focus on your creative abilities, more focus on your children. And the Sun, of course, moves into Gemini this week. We've got that there. It actually happens today. The Sun goes into Gemini just before noon today, 11:48 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So, Taurus is about stability. Gemini is about exploration and curiosity, and it's about communication. I communicate is Gemini's key phrase. So, having better communication, having more curiosity, information, conspiracy theories coming somewhat true, in the news, things that weren't thought to be, and that's sort of part of what you might see in the next 4.5 weeks. For Aries, there's some money, money and finances, family, your lower jaw, lower face, neck, shoulders, that's kind of in the picture more. Finding your voice. Where's your voice? How are you going to do it? Pluto, of course, still retrograde in Aquarius. That's the slowest moving planet. Making friends is a big theme right now. And working with fixed assets, finding peace with them. All right. Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. All eyes are on you. We've got North Node in Taurus. We've got Uranus in Taurus. We've got Mercury in Taurus. We've got the Moon in Taurus. We've got Jupiter in Taurus. That's relatively new. That just happened last week. But Jupiter tends to bring good fortune in your life. It also kind of brings growing pains. So there's sort of this explosive growth in your life that you're looking at, and it's just important to take a look at that. You two are like in a friends-making place. It's a good time to do any kind of artwork. Venus is in your 3rd house, working with your hands, being creative, playing some music, writing a story, journaling, making peace with your neighbors, and that's a good thing. If you have tools, weapons you want to sell, Mars moving into the 4th house, that's fixed assets. It's also kind of implicit of moving. A lot of people move this time of year. School gets out for some people, and so they're moving, and that's another aspect of it. Well, hello, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. Beyond just growing pains, you're welcome to your season today, but it's also like there's all this karma, all these planets in the 12th house. Uranus, Mercury, the North Node, Jupiter, the Moon today. Moon will go into your 1st house, I guess, this weekend, and you'll feel a little bit better. But it's a lot, it's a lot. There's a lot of loss. You might have had a lot of loss in your life. A lot of people have, quote unquote, died suddenly. I'm grateful that I'm not one of those people, but it is what it is. There's just a lot to look at here. I mean, as far as career goes, getting a vision that's really inclusive and universal and somewhat spiritual or aesthetically oriented is going to help with that Neptune in the 10th. Saturn's in the 10th. That seems like you're prepared to take on some responsibility. That looks good. You know, you're learning some deeper insights with Pluto in the 9th, I suppose. Singing's good. Looks like you'll be traveling a lot. And actually, the Mars in the 3rd house, you know, brings a lot of courage. So in spite of whatever losses or difficulties you experience, you're going to have the courage to deal with it. Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope. So, Venus in the 1st house. Always looks good having Venus in the 1st house. You know, makes you look good. Mars moving into the 2nd house. You know, taking action on your finances. And, I mean, one of the problems is that sometimes the 2nd house rules our mouth. And when Mars is there, we become aggressive. Sometimes we say sharp words to people. I mean, sometimes they have to hear sharp words. But your social life is really activated right now, so a lot of people are there, a lot of people are watching, there's a lot of meetings, there's a lot of going-ons, and, I mean, this could be helping you too. These people might have money for you, you know, it's like a Tupperware party and people, or a craft sale where people buy your stuff at a party. That could be happening as well. You know, you're learning things from the, you know, the strict guru of Saturn, and from the maybe more etherical, dissolving planet of Neptune. Pluto going into the 8th house, you know, it's going to retrograde back into the 7th again. I mean, it's deep, you know, and it's real, and you know, you're probably going to have a lot of personal transformation. You know, I don't think a lot of people. I mean, some people are looking forward to Pluto in Aquarius because I guess it might feel like a lighter vibe, but it's still, you know, it's a Saturn-ruled sign, and when it's in a Dustana house like the 6th, the 8th, or the 12th, you know, it could be rough. All right. Greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, you know, you're all over the place. I mean, you're really in the public eye right now, and it's like you don't have a lot of space for your personal life, or maybe you do have a lot of space for your personal life, because everything in the public life is taking your attention, or it's grabbing your attention. You know, the planets are considered grabbers. So just carving that space to be with family, to be with loved ones, and to be more rooted, to be more grounded, and maybe a little less running around might not be a bad idea. I mean, you're very forward, bold, and courageous with Mars entering your 1st house. You're kind of forward, bold, and courageous anyhow. That's why people love you. You're generally friendly. A lot of stuff is happening in the work environment, though. All these planets in Taurus activating the 10th house of career, sort of like your karma with the public. That's where you're going to see things. You know, Venus in the 12th, it's hard to say. You know, there might be a female person in your life that's not being upfront with you, or you might be in a love relationship that's secret. You know, there's just different things that this implies. But, you know, you ultimately coming clean, you know, being honest is going to be the liberator for you. Don't need that burden. Land of Virgo. Greetings, Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope. I mean, yeah, you're looking at other people's needs as well as, you know, your spotlight on your career. So it's a lot, you know. It's a lot. And how you're going to negotiate this stuff is, you know, it's going to be somewhat challenging. Here's the good news, is that what I see is that there are other people that would help you. Maybe your father would help you if you still have a father in the picture. Sometimes we lose our fathers. We need to adopt people that can kind of help us in situations. I met a guy in Mexico last week that this other guy was 53 and he was 53, and he adopted the other guy as his father just because he demonstrated leadership ability. And and some kind of concern for him. It's beautiful. You know, we have to lift each other up, and I really particularly love seeing among men this vulnerability and caring. You know, we need to care for each other and sometimes be a little less competitive, because, you know, the competition can be really, it can be harmful, and it can ultimately lead to huge things like what I experienced. So you don't need to do that. You know, just be a peacemaker, be stable in your relationships, try to practice good health practices, study more, learn more, have more altar time, more time with God, you know, basically. More time in your spiritual life and learning from that. And, you know, your social life is good. You know, you just kind of have to, like, watch your back and just be really cautious. Not everybody has your best interests. Swimming's a good exercise for you right now. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. Yeah, it's all relationships, and I mean, what's the surprise about that? Everything for you is relationships. Venus in Cancer, though, is more like it puts you in the workplace, in your career mode. Like, what am I going to do? A lot of people might have problems finding jobs. There's been a lot of layoffs. There's a lot of new jobs being created, too. You know, money's not what it used to be. Wages are the same as they ever were, really low, and even while all prices seem to go up around. So it's, you know, unless you might need to become your own entrepreneur just to help yourself with the current state of affairs. That is not a bad idea. There's a lot of planets in your 8th house in Taurus. This is not an easy time. The one thing I'll say is when you get a lot of planets in the 8th house, ask other people for help. I mean, as long as you're not someone who habitually does it all the time, you're going to get the help you need right now. You don't have the power. When planets are in the 8th house, other people have the power. Now, Sun, Moon this weekend will be in your 9th house. That can bring a travel bug. It can bring a little bit of good fortune in the picture. And that's okay, too. You want to, you know, take advantage of all the grace that's there. And watch your health, too. With Saturn in the 6th and Neptune, you got to begin really good health habits. Well, hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your horoscope. So Mars is now moving into your midheaven, 10th house, career-wise. It's not a bad place for Mars. It shows that you have the ability to take on some leadership. And that ultimately is a beautiful thing. You know, we need better leadership in the world. And that's where that's at, you know. Allow yourself to feel comfortable with leading. Allow yourself to get rid of evil. Be the best person that you can be at the workplace. You know what that means, you know. Shutting off your phone, being friendly with if you have coworkers, being friendly with your coworkers. If you have customers, friendly with the people you serve. And, you know, relationship issues are just so big with you right now because of this stellium in Taurus. So it's like you want all the things that are going on with your loved one to be resolved. And it's big, man. You know, I could tell you it's big right now. But ultimately, it's like you're committed. You have this, you know, there's sort of this commitment with Saturn in the 5th. It's like, I want to be committed to my heart. I want to do the godly, higher spiritual thing with Neptune in the 5th house. And Pluto in the 4th would be like, I'm not really comfortable unless I'm transforming my everyday happiness into seeing more opportunities to be happy. Indeed. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope. You know, your key phrases I see or I visualize. And, I mean, it's fairly balanced. I mean, most of the stuff is in the 6th house. So if, like, you know, it's allergy season or you're in some kind of chronic pain, you have health issues, maybe you have issues with your pets at home. You know, Sagittarius is a half horse, half human, the satyr, or half goat. You know, it's like they love animals, generally speaking. And 6th house can be things dealing with your pets. And also uncles and aunts, co-workers, and just dealing with obstacles at work and helping to make it. But Gemini time is generally you're peaceful, you're diplomatic, you're loving. That's gonna pay off. And so as we go into the weekend, you'll be feeling a little bit better as we go through the week. Venus in the 8th is intense. So especially if you're a male Sagittarian that's married, it might be all about your wife right now and her money and things having the power. And Mars in the 9th house, you kind of, as always, very Sagittarian, you want to take an adventure. All right. Greetings, Capricorn. Welcome to your horoscope. For you, all the planets in Taurus still are looking good. It's in your 5th house, so it's like children and being in your heart space, and that's all the issue. If you have kids, if you have a creative project going on, if you're initiating your own leadership in some form, some way, we're going to see it here, and it's going to come to light. Gemini time, it's 6th house. So, watching your health, it's a lot of hard work, working with co-workers, dealing with obstacles, and small pets, like I said, to Sagittarius. There's some of that going on. Venus in the 7th, though, is lovely. So especially if you're a male Capricorn, and you've been in a period where you haven't had a relationship in a while, this could be your time to shine, actually. And you meet that special someone. Mars in the 8th, it's just really important to be patient, practice patience. I need to just teach myself, a lot of things I say, there's a part of me, it's because I'm saying them to me. I have a weakness. I can be a hypocrite. And, because I'm still in human condition. So I need guidance, good guidance. There's a lot of not good guidance, because of Rahu being with Mercury and Jupiter right now, the North Node, and sometimes there's shadowy things because somebody wants something so bad, and you just got to be really careful with that. Just relax, just chill, don't jump into anything too quickly. Greetings, Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope. Okay. Well, we've got, Mars is in the 7th house. I had one, Vedic teacher tell me Mars in the 7th house is a sweetheart. Sometimes the 7th house relates to career, too. But in Western astrology, 7th house can also be open enemies. So if you've experienced some open hostility, and especially since Mars is in the 6th house, that in Vedic is open enemies before, so you might be dealing with open confrontation, and one of the best things I think is let people get hostile with you. Not hurt you physically, but even if they have words to say, listen, just listen without reacting. Let them blow it off and own what's yours. You know what I mean? Own what's yours. Own where you might have been weak in a situation, and just say, well, from what you've told me, I could understand how you might be upset, or if you can empathize, it's going to cool down other people's anger, even if they don't deserve the empathy. Yeah, I know. Just even saying something like, well, I'm sure there's a reason that you're feeling that way. My intention for you is to feel good, just bringing something positive into the picture. Venus in the 6th house. Doing service for others. Doing service is beautiful. I got to play music at a care facility when I was in Mexico for just a little bit. One of the elder women asked me if I'd do that, just lift up this place, and it was so nice. And it's just so nice to be asked. So service makes everything better. And it's mostly, this is a time for you to do the inner work, Aquarius. This is not the go out there and rock it so much time. There's room for that. You need to get out if you're too caught up in your inner life. But, here we are. Greetings, Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope. So Pisces, yes, I did say Pisces. Neptune in the 1st house. Neptune tends to dissolve things. You kind of wonder if it's a mirage or it's an oasis. Saturn in Pisces is, finishing things off. Maybe you've had things you've been working on in the last several years that are difficult long-term goals. And now's the time planetarily to put those finishing touches on, because we're coming to the close of a cycle in the tropical zodiac. And so showing maturity, showing responsibility, showing consistency, showing reliability. I know these are not words we generally associate with Pisces, but we have to come to that. I mean, it'd be like a good swim instructor or a good dance instructor showing up every day for their students, for their clients. And, you know, anything, good cooking, good gardening, good, just, you know, releasing, being heart-opening, and, you know, Saturn a lot of times, and both Neptune and Saturn, there's both like this kind of sadness and there's a suffering, and when we acknowledge our suffering, we can like acknowledge other people are suffering. It can actually bring us an open heart. Not to like have a pity party, but yeah, you know, these are tough times, and I can relate, and I want you to do well. So, all in all, we've just got this new moon this week. We have Mars moving into Libra. We have the Sun moving into Gemini today. And so, you know, those are our shifts. Mars moving into Leo, Sun moving into Gemini. So hopefully things just kind of lighten up. We've got the stellium in Taurus, so wherever that hits you in your chart, it's best to know it by your rising sign. You can hit me up. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, like. I'd like to hear your comments. I'm really looking forward to being with you next week when we do this again. KozmicKev100, you are all beautiful. You are all worthy. You are all divine beings of the Creator. Remember that. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat.